Gemini, welcome back. So when it comes to those generational cycles, the lessons that you were learning in the different areas of your life, the childhood, it was something related to time. I'll share more with you about what's coming up. We'll get some tarot cards, but those childhood years, 0 to 5, 0 to 10 years old, what's coming over me now as I'm meditating on this is that time is out here related to you going through a childhood that felt lonely. We'll get more cards out here to make sense of what that was, but I just keep feeling that there was something about those young years where it felt like you were alone, not being understood, okay? And then teen years, young adult years, spirituality is very interesting for you in this journey. And again, there's still this feeling of being in this place of being misunderstood, kind of being alone on this earth realm, kind of feeling like separated from the earthly body and needing to feel the presence of something spiritual, possibly being in a position where you realize that you need to be in the earth, you need to go to the ocean, you're learning about the elements of the world that supports your feeling grounded, but also feeling your spiritual connectedness as well. So that could have been happening with you during this time of your life. I'll get more cards out here about that in just a moment. And then now it's related to friendship, trusting people. You have an opportunity to have connections where you finally feel like you are understood. But are you able to trust that these people truly understand you and want to know you? That's what this vibe feels like related to these generational cycles that you are breaking off of your life. So when I was being nudged to do this reading spiritually, I didn't know how I felt about it in the beginning, because I've definitely done readings like this for people that I know or more intimate, like one-on-one readings. But for the masses, this is my first time doing a series like this. And so I've been curious to see what messages come out, but I also want to let you know, Gemini, to take care of yourself as you're watching this. Because for some of these messages, the stuff that is going to be activated in your mind and your heart listening to this reading, it might make you remember some things that maybe you hadn't thought about in a long time, and it could be incredibly emotional. So I just want you to take care of yourself. Get your tea, get your coffee, get your blanket, whatever you need to do to get comfortable in your body as you're watching this reading, because again, it might bring up some different things for you as you're watching this, Gemini. Okay. Also, this message will not resonate with everyone. Do not force the message. You will know if this message is for you. Okay, so childhood, 0 to 5, 0 to age 10. Those are the years that are in my mind when I'm thinking about this era of your life. It feels like what you are having to face, the cycle, the challenge, so that it can help shape your spirit, shape you into the person that you are today, is related to time. And again, it's something about that time that feels like, how much longer do I feel the sense of loneliness? I also kind of feel that there was a child, and this could be you, where you literally be playing with dolls, playing, with tools is what's coming up, but playing with toys by yourself. And it just felt like the days would just drag on, needing to get through the day because you had so much time to be alone. And then for some of you, it's more about feeling understood at this time. But I'm going to get some cards out here to make this clear about what it was that you were facing, Gemini, as a childhood, but as a childhood lesson or karmic challenge. But I do feel like I'm speaking to someone who was the only child in some way, for sure. That is a strong theme that's coming through. If you weren't the only child, there was something about your birth order or the way that you looked or the way that you were that made you feel like you were alone still. It almost still felt like you were the only child. God, angel, spirit guides for Gemini in the early childhood years. We're looking at 0 to 5, 0 to 10. We have time out here for Gemini, God, angel, spirit guides. What is this related to? What were they being faced with? What were they working through at this time? Related to time. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. And this is number 41, which is 5. Feels like a challenging time. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Okay. So likely could have had to do with your parent, mom. That kind of slipped out here. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. What else? For time and the Empress. Why is the Empress out here for time? What is this about? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. What is this about? Independence. Could have been raised by a single parent, and that comes up a lot in these readings. The single parent household having an impact on people, for sure. So there's a loneliness here, right? And it feels like a parent that had a hard time, okay? But they did what they could to be financially independent, but there were some rough patches for sure. Now, another thing that's coming up, and this is very specific just for some of you, is that this caregiver that was in the home struggled with some different emotional injuries, mental injuries, and that was challenging in the home. Maybe there was an event that happened that changed who your mother was or who your parent was. It kind of changed how they were. It kind of feels like there's a time where this maternal energy was more kind of like, bright colors, fun, joyful, creative, financially independent, successful, having their own garden. And then something happened and they changed. They became probably more of a hermit, something that unfortunately probably robbed this parent of their sense of beauty in life. It changed them and made them a different kind of a person. I'm going to get some more out here to get clarity about this. Guide angel, spirit guides. Why is the Empress out here with the Tower? Thank you, guide angel, spirit guides. Why is the Empress out here with the Tower? This had an impact on the finances because the Tower, the Hermit, and the Empress, these are major arcana energies. So this was the pervasive dominant energy that you were growing up in. And the Pentacles is just kind of like this temporary energy. So it could be that this parent had resources, had money, had some opulence for a little while. You remember there was a period where things were okay, and then things were not. God, angel, spirit guides, tell us more about the Empress in the Tower here. Why is the Empress in the Tower here? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. What is this related to? We have one out here, two out here. Yeah, this was a stressful time. This was painful. This is the same kind of energy. Something happened that changed someone's personality. Loss of some kind, financial loss of some kind, an accident is what's coming through that changed the physical body, a medical issue that changed the parent, the caregiver here, possibly even while someone was with child for some of you. And then there's a protective energy, and I feel like this is you, Gemini. You showing up as kind of like the protector over the family, protector over this parent that you were almost kind of caregiving for, because you had a sensitivity for what this parent had gone through. You knew their story. You were a part of this experience with them. And so that's what this feels like here. Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. That's a lot to go through, Gemini, very early on. For whoever was going through that, that's a lot. But now we're moving into this young adulthood time, the teen years, and we're looking at nature spirits is what popped out here. So God, angel, spirit guides, tell us more about why nature spirits is out here. What was the challenge at this time in life? What was the karmic lesson here for Gemini during this season of life? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. Why is nature spirits out here for this time, for this season? We have King of Pentacles, a provider of some sort, but some type of paternal energy, a parent that was kind of rigid in some way, right? Maybe a little bit harsh with, who they decided to give to. They had a lot, but not sharing a lot. And then it kind of feels like being blocked in by that, right? God, angel, spirit guides, this is powerful. Tell us a little bit more about what this is related to. Tell me more, God, angel, spirit guides, about this 8 of Swords. Why is the 8 of Swords here, God, angel, spirit guides? Thank you. Why is the 8 of Swords here? So for the 8 of Swords, we have the 7 of Pentacles, and then we also have the Star card here. So it kind of feels like it feels like there was some type of financial recovery. Okay, Gemini, this is a very specific message right now, and I might lose some of you on this reading because it's going to get really specific. So for those of you where there was a caregiver that was financially independent and something happened and they needed resources by this young adult time in your life, teen years, early adulthood, it feels like this parent met someone and they were financially mobile. They had resources, they had a home, they had money, they were the provider, but it does not feel like this person was the most loving, and it kind of feels like they were a bit controlling, because this is a control card with it being in reverse here. This is harsh, this is rigid, this is non-moving, this is I am God kind of energy. And then overcoming. So during this time, you were needing to overcome this kind of bullying, dominant energy of this other person who came into the life of your life to possibly support you and the family. Okay. And you probably ran away, moved away, got a job early on so that you could have your healing and start building your own money. This wasn't an easy journey, right? But you found a way out of this situation. You removed yourself from this, which makes total sense because now you're restoring something. And thank you, God, angel, spirit guides, Gemini. This was one of the times in your life where you were breaking a cycle, for sure, because here you are coming out of something that feels closed in, blocked in. You're leaving the security of finances, but you're trying to keep your dignity. And so you're moving on and you're finding your wish. You're finding your star. It's hard. Your first job, your first internship, maybe going from couch to couch, maybe spent a little bit of time where you were transient a little bit, but you're like, no, I don't care. Like, I believe that something better can happen. And it kind of feels like, Gemini, it worked out, but it was not an easy journey. And some of you, Gemini, you're still working through the residual of you taking a risk of yourself and going after your healing. But this was healing for you. You wanted your freedom. You wanted your freedom here. And so because you were alone, kind of doing that on your own, escaping something, you relied on your spirit a lot. And spirit wants you to know, Gemini, that when you were in this dark valley, literally probably walking the streets at night alone, figuring it out, trying to have resources. Some of you are probably single parents at this time. Spirit wants you to know that spirit was always with you, always watching. Okay. So you walked past the tree was like, yep, you good, we got you. I know that sounds kind of weird, but that's how my mind sees things. So wherever you were, whatever dark alley you were in, spirit was always with you. And spirit wants you to know that it was guiding you, helping you to secure what it is that you needed, because what this wasn't fair. It wasn't something that you should have had to work through and overcome. Now that's really powerful and brave of you. So shouts out to you, Gemini. That's the Gemini that I know in the world too. Like my Gemini homies and friends, that's kind of what it is. Like they know how to secure themselves and get out here and get what it is that they need. Geminis lead incredibly well because you understand your power. Now what's happening in your life though, Gemini, it's related to friendship. And I'm going to get some cards out here, but it kind of feels like you're wondering if you can trust your friends right now, or you're wondering what it means to be a friend to someone else. You know, is the people who are around you who want to be your friend, are they asking for way too much from you and expecting way too much, right? And so it kind of feels like you're working that out. Let's see. Guide angel spirit guides for Gemini, please tell us more about why friendship is out here for the karmic lesson or the cycles that are being broken. Guide angel spirit guides, why is friendship out here? Thank you, guide angel spirit guides. All right, here we go. Why is friendship here? Let's see. Okay, we have the 8 of Wands here, 10 of Swords. So some of you are needing to leave a friendship. Some of you don't want to, because it's not like, yeah. Some of you, for some type of travel, you're needing to leave a friendship here. You have the Chariot here. This is pushing through the clutter because you're determined to get somewhere. Being reluctant to move on here. You have the 8 of Wands here, which is a powerful energy of expansion, growth, travel, breakthrough, right? But what's kind of interesting here, though, is Gemini, I have you out here, and the way that it's facing me, the way that it fell out, it's upside down. And then I have you out here again, and then I have you out here again. So this is very powerful. This feels like you have a friendship that possibly could be a relationship too. There's something in this connection between you and this other person. More than the title, it's the soul connection that you have with this person. Some of you, you don't want this friendship to end, but you're being called to go in another direction. The friendship is shifting. This relationship is shifting because you're being called to go in different directions for different reasons, okay? Only you know if it's toxic for you or not. Now, for the others of you that I'm speaking to, it has been made clear that this friendship, you have over-sacrificed. You have done a lot. For others of you, it has been made clear that this person that you have been friends with, unfortunately, and I say this tenderly because I think you still have a lot of love for this person, that in some way maybe they stabbed you in the back. You know, maybe they weren't solid the way that they should have been. I just saw another card here. I'm sitting crisscross applesauce, and this card went under one of my knees, and I'll show you that one in just a moment. But this person wasn't solid in their friendship, and it had an impact on you. You're going overboard, showing up for this friendship, doing everything that you can, and here they are not being solid. And so for some of you, you're very clear that this friendship has to end, leading to this King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, and it is reversed the way that it was showing up when I just flipped it over. Of Swords out here, I got cut off. When we see the 10 of Swords out here, that is final. It's a final break. The relationship is over, and it's final for some of you. Others of you, you're not quite there yet. But for those of you where you know for a fact that the cycle that you're breaking is related to letting go of people who are not true friends to you, you're reluctant to move forward. As I just showed this to you, you're reluctant to go forward, but you know that the future has a brighter opportunity, that there's no turbulence in this water. It's calm over on this side. It's been choppy in this friendship. It's been up and down. It's been frenemy vibe. Now, some of you, the friendship is ending literally because you're going to be moving. Some of you, it has to do with your roommate. This is a roommate situation that you're dealing with, and you're moving out of the same environment with this person. It could be a lover. It could be a lover for some of you, but I'm also feeling that the main thing that feels like it's being broken, again, it could lover, friend, cousin, God, sibling. It's not about that as much as the friendship being broken right now. And so there's some distance that's going to be drawn between you and this other person. Again, I keep repeating myself. I'm almost done. Some of you have not made this decision yet. And so Gemini, you're showing up here with this Lover's card because you have to make the decision that's going to be good for your heart. There's potential for you to make a decision where you can go toward a path of least resistance. There's potential for you to move on, you know, exciting times, healing here. There's potential for you to just let it close up. But again, some of you might not make that decision. And again, in life, it's all about free will. It's free will. You get to choose what you want. But Gemini, I think that some of you know exactly what it is that you have to do. It's been proven that this friendship is not capable of growing after what has recently happened. And by you making the decision to free yourself, you open up a whole new karmic path for yourself, breaking cycles off of your life. That's what I have for you, my lovely Gemini. I'm sorry about the little glitch there just a moment ago, but we are back. I hope I get to see you next week. I love you. I love you. I love you. Please take care of yourselves out there. Bye.